Well, hello, friends, and glad that you could join me for our midweek encouragement. I am standing right now in the front corner of our sanctuary, and we still have up what we call our Christ Must decorations. Down here on the floor, we have a manger, and in the manger is a Bible. Right behind me, you see a cross. It's got some lights on it, crown of thorns. And over in this window, we have made a collage, and it's the empty tomb. Because the way we see Christmas is that Christ was born in the manger. In John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God. The same was in the beginning with God. So the Bible is in the manger. In the beginning was the Word. And then right behind me is the cross. Jesus came and he died on the cross. And John 1 says, in him was light, and that was the light of the world. So that's why the lights are on the cross here. And then over in this corner over here, we have that collage of the empty tomb. Jesus was born, Jesus died, Jesus arose. We can't have one without the other. All three are very important for what we believe and what we teach here in the church. Without the birth of Christ, the death would not have been possible. Without the death of Christ, the resurrection would not be possible. Without the resurrection, we would have no hope. And I know it's beginning of August, but I think for some of us, we probably need to start thinking, what am I going to get them for Christmas? What am I going to get somebody for Christmas? And for my family, I drive them nuts because I'm the type of person, I want practical things. Don't just get me any old thing. I want something practical, something that I can use, something that I desire. Who knows what that will be for this year, but I'm a practical person. That's what I try to be. And as we continue to think about what Jesus said and in the way that he taught us to pray, he said in Matthew chapter 6, and let's just go through this one more time because I don't feel that we have been released from this passage. He says, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Well, the Bible tells us also that we are to seek God and seek him above everything else. We get so caught up in our worries and our problems and the things we got to do. We worry about this, we worry about that. But what Jesus says is, do not worry. Instead, he says in chapter 5, verse 33, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you as well. Are we seeking him in a great way? It was, let's see, my date of my journal. Wow. October of 19, October 30th, 19. I remember this. I was sitting at McDonald's in Orlando, Florida, and God began to speak to me, and I just decided I better write down what he has to say. And he told me, do not worry about any image being shown through you. I created you to be an eagle, not a buzzard. You must soar above, not eating on the dead, but the living, not the past, but my word is alive. Soar high. You are protected, and there is great punishment for those who harm, hurt, or kill my mighty and majestic eagles. Buzzards, when they eat, do not eat on the living. They eat what is dead and floated up on the shore or wherever they find something. Buzzards eat what is dead. But eagles swoop out of the sky in a safe area and pick something up, either off the ground or out of the water, and take it to a high place to eat it. And God went on to say, I have created your eagle eye to see beyond what others can see, to see far and deep. Only when you soar can you see, while on the ground you cannot. In the Old Testament, there was a man by the name of Gideon, and Gideon chose those people that cupped the water with their hand, not those that got down and licked the water out of the river, but those who cupped it out of their hand. They were looking forward. And when we read in Isaiah 43, verses 18 and 19, it says, do not dwell in the past. See, I am doing a new thing. The only way that we can see the new thing that God is doing is to start looking up. God went on to tell me the eagle's nest is high above, out of protection for self, not out of arrogance. When attacked, you must soar higher where the enemy cannot soar. And God says, I have never seen my people forsaken. Your time of molting, getting rid of the old, is needed, allowing the feathers of shame and fear to fall away. Forgive those who have been plucking your feathers and molt. Soar high on the warmth of the thermal. It looks lonely, but you are not alone, for I am with you. Eagles are the only birds that fly during a storm. On the ground, an eagle becomes prey rather than a predator. And the Word of God tells us in Joshua 1:9 that we are to be strong and courageous. In other words, we're to soar without fear. And so it's time for us to begin flapping our wings. Another thing that God shared with me this last year, when we start thinking about this whole thing of Christmas, and that's why I'm standing here, the idea of Christmas. Christmas is coming. The return of Jesus is coming too. And I got to get ready because Sunday is always coming for me. If you're a pastor, you understand what I'm talking about. But what God told me about Christmas last year was it's not about a holiday. I never asked for my birth to be remembered. I said for the sacrifice I made for man's sin to be remembered. This is what communion is all about. Do this in remembrance of me. I am no longer an infant in the manger. I grew up, and my people need to do the same. If anything, this thing called Christmas is about love. You can't find love under a tree. It was on a tree. Treasure the gift. Treasure me. How one treasures a gift is a reflection of the relationship that individual has with the one that gave the gift. I don't give you what you want, but I give you what you need. If I gave you what you wanted, you wouldn't appreciate what you have. If you had all you wanted, you wouldn't want me, and you would never be satisfied. I'm the Alpha and the Omega, God said to me, the beginning and the end. When on a quest, make sure the treasure is real, it is truthful, full of value, real value, more precious than fine jewels, more precious than the finest, purest metal. God went on to say, seek me, come under the tree I gave my life on for your gift, your free gift of salvation. You will not find trinkets and toys, but truth and forgiveness. Do more than celebrate my birth. Do not get distracted by things. Keep your eyes on me. My birth was necessary to accomplish your freedom. If you lose your why, you will lose your way. Never forget my birth points beyond my death. My life points beyond my death and beyond my resurrection. It points to eternity with Abba Father. Look beyond the manger. Look beyond the cross, beyond the empty tomb. How you live here on earth will determine your eternity. This week, you're going to find some people that are buzzards. They are eating on the dead. They are living in the past. I remember when. Yeah, I remember when, but I also look at where we are now. I remember when I had a car that didn't have air conditioning. And I live in Oklahoma, and I want a car that has air conditioning. I don't want to go back to the 77 Gremlin. God has delivered me from that. He has delivered me from the 80 Chevette. Okay, so we need to be looking forward at what God is doing and quit looking at the past. When you get around those buzzards that begin to complain and whine and think about how things used to be, ask them this question: what are 3 things you're thankful for? If you find yourself starting to have a little bit of buzzard breath, what would it look like if you began to take paper and pen and started writing down 3 things you were thankful for? If not, if you're really having a bad day, make it 10. Because when we practice gratitude, we begin to realize everything that God has done in and for us and how great His love is for us. Let's not be buzzards. Let's get rid of the buzzard breath and start putting praises into our mouth, because the Word of God tells us that God inhabits the praises of His people. And I'd rather be a person praising Him than not. In fact, when Jesus was walking into Jerusalem, coming in with the donkey, the people tried to stop the people from praising Him. He said, if they don't, the very rocks will cry out. And I don't want some rock overdoing what I am capable of doing. He has given you a voice. He's given you a mouth. Shout praises to Him. Be full of gratitude, because this is the day the Lord has made, and we have so much to be glad and thankful for. If you were able to tie your shoe and your shoelace didn't break, there's something to be thankful for. If you slept in a bed last night, be thankful you weren't under a bridge. If you were able to brush your teeth, thankfully you have teeth and a toothbrush. There is so much to be thankful for. The little things as well as the big things. Be grateful. Be the eagle that God created you to be, and soar high. Thank you, folks. I can't wait to see you this Sunday at the First Church of God. We begin at 10:30. If you're watching online, 11 o'clock. Look forward to you joining us. Thank you so much.